All right. Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program's Energy Efficiency for Libraries. My name is Cassie Carroll, and I'm an outreach service provider for the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, and I, among with some other esteemed hosts, will be presenting on today's webinar and talking about energy efficiency for your facilities. So first, I'd like to turn it over to one of our key presenters today, Jordan Berman Cutler. He's the Public Sector Program Manager for the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. So Jordan, would you kick us off for today's webinar?
Sure, thanks, Cassie. So glad that so many people could take time out from their schedules and join us today. We're really glad that you're able to participate. We've been working hard this year to create programs specifically for public sector customers, and libraries are one of the main sectors that we want to make sure that we're reaching. We're really eager and enthusiastic to have all of you participate in our programs and take advantage of all the incentives and programs and studies that we offer. So Cassie already introduced herself. She works in the non-Chicagoland regions as one of our outreach specialists. We also have Brian Tompkins on the line as well, and he does outreach in Cook County and the Collier counties. And they'll both be getting into a lot more of the specifics of the program. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of the program, and then Cassie and Brian will dive in more deeply. So our one big takeaway for today is if you're thinking of doing any projects in your facility that you think might save energy, give us a call. We offer an assessment, an incentive, a discount, an optimization program or study that will help you save money. We're here to help you. We've got a lot of resources, but we can best distribute them to everybody if you actually reach out to us, if you take advantage of them. So we'll get into each of these individual bullet points in more depth, but we just wanted to show you a little bit about everything that we offer as a comprehensive portfolio of energy saving opportunities. So ComEd has been doing energy efficiency or administering energy efficiency programs since 2008. We've saved customers over $3 billion. We're actually getting closer to $3.5 billion. These programs initially were focused on residential and commercial industrial customers. So if you participated in an energy efficiency program before, perhaps you did it through DCEO, the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. Sometimes it was called Illinois Energy Now, or some people knew it as DECA. But at the beginning of this calendar year, 2018, all of those programs that used to be with DCEO came over to the utilities. So ComEd, we've been able to leverage the 10 years of experience that we've had. We took the best of what DCEO had to offer. We kept a lot of those programs and a lot of those studies. And then we added a lot of the expertise that ComEd had gained over 10 years to offer, again, what we think is a really robust set of offerings for public sector customers, and in particular for libraries who fit into some of our more niche programs like our small business program, our small facilities program, which is designed for smaller facilities and has a little bit more intense hand-holding and concierge-like services as part of the offering. The other important thing to keep in mind with these programs is that they're funded by you. So according to Illinois state law, there is a rider or an additional fee on everybody's utility bill, both on the gas and electric side, to pay for a number of different programs, including the energy efficiency program. And you pay based on your usage. So we don't expect to run out of money, but it's not an unlimited pool of money. So my best advice is take advantage of the programs before someone else does, and you don't get the hard-earned money that you've already put into the system. So I'm going to turn it over to Cassie. We're going to do a couple of live polls to keep you all on your toes and make sure you're paying attention. And I look forward to some good questions at the end, and take it over, Cassie. So thank you all for participating.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jordan, for kicking us off today and telling us more about all the great things that are happening under the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. So a couple notes, housekeeping notes. This webinar will be on demand after the broadcast today, and it will be available on the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program's website. And also, if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A box, and we'll answer them either throughout the duration of the webinar or answer them and address them at the end of the session. So first poll, we want to just poll you guys and ask, get to know you all on the webinar a little bit more. And we wanted to ask you a question about energy efficiency and your motivating factors. So which of these factors for your library are motivating factors for your library to pursue energy efficiency? So is your motivating factor improved comfort and safety for your patrons, money savings, environmental concerns, and it is a multiple choice, so please select all that apply. We'll run the poll for about a minute. All right, about 15 seconds left on the poll. All right, and the poll is closed. So I want to share the results with you all. So it looks like money savings is one of the major motivating factors, but also I see that improved comfort and safety for your patrons and environmental concerns are two very important and almost equal drivers to why energy is efficient or is important to your library. So thank you for sharing your insight and a little bit of information with us. And we're going to go into a lot about really how you can improve comfort and safety, address money savings, and reduce your environmental impact with the help of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. So we'll move forward in our presentation, and I just wanted to show you a quick graphic that I had found from energy use being disclosed in New York City, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. And as you can see, usually the median retail building uses a certain amount of energy, median office building, but a US average library really uses a lot of energy. And really, if there's an opportunity there to address efficiency, find ways to cut energy and costs, and a lot of it, what we're going to be talking about today, it looks at lighting and HVAC in facilities. That's one of the couple of the big energy users at your libraries. Others could include computer labs or other electronic equipment that you have, but really there's great opportunities for libraries to address energy efficiency in their facilities. And so today we're going to be talking about incentives and opportunities and benefits. We're going to be speaking about case studies, how to get started, and then we'll have a Q&A session and discussion at the end. We have one more poll for you before we dive in. I want to find out just a little bit more information about your facilities. So let me pull this up. How much lead time would be required to identify and approve energy efficiency projects for your library? Because I know that some organizations, you have to pass it by a board or you have to have a budget available or approved to be able to move an energy efficiency project for. So really we're trying to find out, how long does it take for your library on average, or how long does it take to get those energy efficiency projects approved? Again, we'll have about a minute for folks to respond. All right, about 15 more seconds. All right, and polling is closed. So we'll share the results. So it looks like usually it takes about 6 to 12 months for most of you to get energy efficiency projects approved for your library. Some 3 to 6 months. Great to hear that less than 90 days you're able to really turn that around. But we understand if it's more than 1 year, it takes time to get these projects integrated and get them started. So again, thank you for sharing your insight with us. And now we're going to dive into more information about the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program offerings. So I'm actually going to turn it over to Brian Tompkins, who is an outreach service provider for the Cook and the Collier counties, to talk a little bit more about lighting for library facilities. So Brian, please take it over.
Thanks, Cassie, and thank you for the introduction. And just before I dive into the benefits of lighting upgrades, I'd like to just discuss quickly what an outreach service provider does, so you know who Cassie and I and our roles. We provide free technical assistance, program support, and help you navigate through all the program offerings. So what you know in today's presentation is important, but also the who you know, because if there's some takeaways that you're not sure about what we go over in today's presentation, or if you'd like more clarity, you can always contact us and we're happy to help. All of these services are for free. So to start, what are the benefits of your lighting upgrades? First of all, it reduces maintenance costs. With lighting upgrades, staff can spend less time having to deal with the lights. It provides safety and security. Lighting upgrades can increase the amount of lighting in your building. This also improves the aesthetics and comfort within your library. And as the last bullet notes, lighting upgrades can reduce the operating costs. And another thing that we can consider about the benefits is it aligns with your environmental goals. I saw that as an answer, a popular answer in our live poll. So it's great to reduce energy and reduce your costs, but it also aligns with your environmental goals. In my experience, the reduction in maintenance and operating costs tend to be among the primary reasons for lighting upgrades. On the next slide, we can talk more about indoor lighting upgrades. So the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program has a lot of opportunities for indoor lighting upgrades. The indoor lighting upgrades provide a high potential for cost and energy savings and provides short payback periods. Libraries, rely on high quality light to best serve their patrons and facilitate their needs. Flexibility and automation helps facilities conserve energy when it isn't needed. ComEd provides incentives for installation of occupancy sensors, daylight controls, and timers to ensure that areas are always well lit whenever they are needed to be, so they're not wasting energy when they're not. Libraries typically have an assortment of lighting types and commercial grade LEDs. Newer LEDs use about 75% less energy and last 15 times longer than traditional incandescent light bulbs, thus enhancing reliability and longevity of lighting. LEDs deliver light that is bright and truer with less light pollution. They also almost require zero warm-up time, going from dark to full brightness instantly. The ComEd program also incentivizes outdoor lighting. As you can see, there are various measures on the right of your screen with the incentive rates as well. LEDs are much cooler than incandescent lights, so it reduces the risk of combustion or burnt fingers. Therefore, it provides safety and security. Because exterior lighting tends to be on 12 to 24 hours per day, you'll typically see cost and energy savings by upgrading to LEDs. LEDs are one of today's most energy efficient and rapidly developed lighting technologies. Quality LED light bulbs last longer, more durable, and offer comparable or better light quality than other types of lighting. And also, because of the long lifespan of LED lights, the maintenance work is significantly less, meaning you'll see big energy savings. And as you'll see to the right, a list of measures and their incentive rates. ComEd offers energy efficient lamps to public sector customers at a discount through participating distributors. The product incentives are delivered to the customers and the contractor markets as a reduction in the purchase price of qualifying products at the time of sale. So that's another offering through the program, the instant discounts offering. There's also time clocks, which offer 3 cents per watt reduced. Timers are a great way to utilize lighting when needed. Timers automatically schedule lights, reducing reliance on staff to turn off the lights as they leave the facility. Also, photocells are sensors that allow you to detect light. They can be small and expensive, low power, easy to use, and they don't wear out. That's also a great offering under the program. And typically, metal halide or high pressure sodium lamps can also be replaced through the program, and you can receive an incentive for doing that as well. On the next slide, you can see the lighting sensors and controls. As you can see on this slide, we have a list of bullets and a table to the right. Each bullet corresponds with the measure listed. First, occupancy sensors. And occupancy sensor is an indoor motion detecting device used to detect the presence of a person to automatically control the lights or temperature or ventilation systems. So it saves energy by turning the lights off when rooms are unoccupied. Lighting controls decrease lighting energy consumption by reducing unnecessary light use. The incentive is 12 cents per watt reduced there. Daylight sensors automatically reduce light use when daylight levels are sufficient. It's a great way to optimize your energy usage. And as mentioned in the previous slide, timers are also automatically scheduled lights, reducing reliance on staff to turn the lights off when they leave. Lighting control systems. It's an intelligent network based on lighting control solutions that incorporates communication between various inputs and outputs related to lighting control with the use of one or more central computing devices. Essentially, it manages different parts of your building with various needs on-site or remotely, thus optimizing your usage of lighting. And I will turn it back over to Cassie.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about heating and cooling benefits. And so Brian mentioned a lot about lighting. Heating and cooling also has a lot of benefits for your patrons, your facility, and overall operating costs as well. So heating and cooling benefits include better indoor air quality. So you're breathing cleaner, fresher air, improved comfort for your patrons and your employees so that you don't have certain spots of your library that are cold and some that are hot. The air is evenly distributed and it improves the comfort of everybody in the facility. Also reduce operating costs. So the more you optimize your HVAC system, either with timers or sensors or programmable thermostats, and we'll talk about a lot of those things that can help you reduce operating costs and make sure that you're using heating and cooling when it's needed the most. It also increases system efficiency so that your systems are running most effectively and efficiently and operating at times when needed and dialed down when not in use. So there's a lot of heating and cooling improvements and ways to participate in the Common Energy Efficiency Program to address heating and cooling in your facility. So you can optimize your rooftop units. Actually, the AirCare Plus offering helps actually do an analysis of your rooftop units and then proposes different maintenance to bring it up to spec to make sure it's running efficiently, effectively, but also they look at things like programmable thermostats as well. So it's a great opportunity to make sure your rooftop units are functioning well. Also, you can work to improve your current system's performance with variable speed drives. So the drives actually help the system not reduce their power loads and the use when they're not needed. So it helps dial down your HVAC systems when there may be low occupancy or there might not be anybody in the facility. So that helps increase efficiency and reduce energy use. And then also you can replace existing chillers with high efficiency units. We offer a lot of incentives and technical assistance to tune up or replace your inefficient HVAC systems, ultimately saving you money while improving the comfort of your patrons that use your library. There's also, we incentivize and also help with support services to look at energy management systems. So ways to control your HVAC and lighting systems inside your facility. So you can do things like fine tune scheduling, optimal start and stop times of your air handling systems, supply air temperature resets, or even just chilled water temperature resets for your HVAC system. And through that fine-tuned evaluation that we would provide. And there's incentives for programmable thermostats to help better manage your HVAC units and energy used in your facility. But this overall really increases your building and facility comfort on and off site. So this could be actually something that you can access remotely when you're at home or off site. You can look at your building controls, your HVAC and your lighting systems for off-site monitoring and troubleshooting. So if you go home at the end of the day and forget to turn down the thermostat, or you have an event that's running late that you might not be at the library, but want to make sure that your HVAC system is turned off, or your lighting is turned off, this is a great opportunity to do that at your facility and get incentives and support to help you implement systems such as this. There's also an opportunity for retro commissioning, which is building optimization, and that RCX that you see up there. You can improve the energy efficiency of your library through the ComEd Comprehensive Building Optimization offering, known as retro commissioning. You can receive a fully funded study of operational and behavior changes for your HVAC system, valued at $25,000 or more, plus incentives for energy efficiency upgrades and ongoing energy savings of 5 to 10%. So really it's looking at your building control systems, identifying equipment and behavior change opportunities, and connecting you to those incentives. So anything that we would recommend when we look at commissioning or fine tuning your building would pay back in less than 18 months. So here are some different examples of what we look at. So you can see on the right hand side that there's a simple payback in years, and then there's the initial cost on the left hand side. So things like scheduling, setback space temperature times, looking at installing economizers, those are all things that we recommend in retro commissioning and commissioning of your buildings. And you can see that it pays back in a short amount of time, and it's low cost to implement. So really taking advantage of some of these options can save you a lot of energy and money, and make sure that your HVAC system is working efficiently and effectively in your facility. So there are a lot of different options. Just wanted to put this up there for folks to look at. But again, to what Brian had said earlier, we are here to help actually connect you to these offerings and figure out which of these optimization options would be best for your facility. We do have libraries that are going through the retro commissioning process, or even the building tune-up process. So it depends on what your facility needs and what you want to accomplish at your facility, but we highly recommend, to save energy and money at your library, take advantage of these building optimization opportunities. So now I am actually going to turn it over to Brian Tompkins again to speak about data centers.
So your facility, your library might have a small place for your computers or your data centers, but you probably have one within your library. The ComEd program is dedicated to helping mission critical facilities become top performers without sacrificing uptime. The data center program offers a free system assessment through the technical assistance services. So we provide start to finish engagement with the data center implementation team and incentives based on the verified annual energy savings. Essentially, there's 4 ways you can save here. There's airflow management. You can reduce your energy use up to 20% by preventing cool supply air from mixing with the hot air released from the IT equipment. You can upgrade your equipment and you can reduce your energy usage and generate less heat by upgrading your computer room air conditioners and chillers with high efficiency compressors or high efficiency power supplies. Another way is control systems. You can monitor your operations and set temperature points and fan speeds to optimize savings. And another offering is closet to co-location site transfer. The benefit here is economies of scale. Co-location sites rent space to businesses and organizations to house their servers and other computer hardware, thus reducing energy use and enhanced reliability. Another way is looking at the network desktop power management offering. Often computers are left on at night or over the weekends when the building's unoccupied. By enabling power saving settings, you can save more energy. All right. Also, some libraries we've encountered have cafes and kitchens. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program offers a wide variety of refrigeration incentives for public sector food service operations or cafeterias or kitchens within libraries. Some of the incentives include LED refrigerated display case lighting, anti-sweat heater controls, display case night covers, and evaporator fan controls on electronically commutated motors. ComEd also provides incentives up to $200 for Energy Star ice makers. On the next slide, we can see there's an Energy Advisor offering. It's a free service that can help you pinpoint where your facility is wasting energy, potentially reducing your annual energy cost by 5 to 10%. An expert Energy Advisor will remotely analyze data drawn from your ComEd smart meter and provide recommendations for low cost and no cost improvements to your facility operations that can immediately reduce your energy bills. Again, this is a free analysis of your electrical usage through the program. If you'd like more information on this offering, you can visit energyadvisorprogram.com. New construction offering. Essentially, this offering provides technical assistance and financial incentives to enable building developers and design teams to exceed standard energy code requirements. Key thing here is whether if you're in the design phase of renovating or creating new construction within your library, you would go through this program. There are various requirements here. The facility needs to be a minimum of 5,000 square feet. The earlier you engage with us, the higher the likelihood of your incentive being high. You increase the chances of your incentive to be higher. The design must exceed current IEC code requirements, IECC code requirements, and it must implement significant beyond code energy conservation measures for at least 2 primary building systems, whether it's envelope, primary HVAC, or lighting. Also, if you're meeting the end of your design phase and you're close to construction phase, you would navigate through the standard and custom offering. And back to Jordan's mantra at the beginning of today's webinar, if you're looking at doing any project that may save energy, just engage with us. We're happy to help you navigate through these program offerings. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the case studies so you can get a better idea of what kind of projects we've completed with libraries. So to start, I'd like to point us to a customer, Acorn Public Library District. It's located in Oak Forest. The energy saving improvements they had was new interior LED lighting, and the annual energy savings was about 57,000 kilowatt hours. The project cost essentially about $57,000, and their incentive was $19,194. So it brought the project cost down to about $38,526, seeing an estimated annual electrical cost savings of about $5,107 a year. Essentially, in January of 2018, energy engineers determined that new energy efficient TA LED lighting and targeted fixture removal would provide optimal savings for the library. Many of the 402 fluorescent light fixtures throughout the Acorn Public Library District in Oak Forest needed to be replaced, and library officials knew that the required maintenance costs would be considerable, both in dollars and staff time. From early engagement, the whole process for their participation in the program took about 4 months, from the initial contact with us and to the implementation and completion. So we were able to engage with them early, help them through the offerings, and see a good payback on this project for doing interior lighting. Also, I'd like to mention that this offering went through the public small facilities offering. So typically, if there's a demand less than 100 kilowatts for your facility, the public small facilities offering delivers enhanced lighting incentives, so often covering about 50% or more of your project costs. Additionally, contractors can share the upfront project costs as part of the offering, and if you would like, we can also deliver the payment of the incentive directly to vendors, the vendor or contractor that you work with. And now I'll turn it back over to Cassie for another case study.
Great, thank you, Brian. It's always interesting to learn about what customers are doing out there and how you can learn from what successes are already out there. And I think the small facilities offering is a great way for libraries to get engaged and involved. Not all libraries participate in the small facilities offering, but many do, but there's still opportunities through the facility assessment program as well to achieve savings. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Pecatonica Public Library, and this was another public small facilities program case studies, and so they worked on installing LED interior lighting and controls for their lighting, so occupancy sensors. So their incentives were actually worth about $5,300, excuse me, and their electricity use was lowered about 20,000 kilowatt hours per year. So they're saving almost $2,000 just from looking at their library and seeing what opportunities were available to better control their lighting, but also upgrade their interior lighting to more efficient LEDs. So we were really excited to work with the Pecatonica Public Library, and really Penny Kellicut Brian said, we're almost complete with our upgrades and I couldn't be happier. The contractors were timely, professional, and productive, and the building is so much brighter with the new lighting improvements. And she's the director of the Pecatonica Public Library. She's really excited about what they were able to achieve and accomplish, and they're really excited to see the results on their energy bill as well. We'll look at one more case study, the Aurora Public Library, the Eola Road branch. So the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program assisted the Aurora Public Library with no cost incentive and technical application assistance. So this was a project that went through the standard and custom offering. The Aurora Public Library implemented LED interior lighting, and so they looked at actually fixture replacement. So the project for them cost $22,000. Their incentive was $3,000. Their annual energy savings is going to be about 45,000 kilowatt hours, and their annual cost savings is going to be about $3,400 each year. So for them, it was an opportunity to increase the brightness of the facility, have more improved comfort for your patrons who are trying to read and trying to see materials, but they really wanted to just be more efficient, but also talk about their commitment to sustainability and energy savings for their community. They wanted to be a demonstration for that in Aurora. So we're really excited about these opportunities for library customers. And as you can see, a lot of libraries have focused so far on lighting, but there are still a lot of opportunities for HVAC in many of these places and many of your libraries as well. So before we go into a little bit about how to get started, we want to have wanted to share one more poll and collect a little bit of your thoughts and information from you. So what is your organization's biggest barrier to pursuing energy efficiency projects? Is it initial cost, stakeholder support? Is it that you just don't know where to start? Or is it something else? And if you have something else, please share it with us in the Q&A box. So we know there's a lot of barriers. It might be timing, it might be board approval, whatnot. We're curious to find out more. So we'll, again, leave the poll open for about a minute. All right, about 15 seconds. All right, and we'll close the poll. So the results, initial cost, yes, that is a huge barrier. And luckily, the incentives will help with that, but we understand its initial cost and budgeting and making sure that your library can cover the cost of these efficiency upgrades. The don't know where to start piece, we're going to talk about just in a little bit and help you figure out we provide different services through our offerings to actually help identify those measures for you and chart a path forward. And then others, it looks like we have somebody's currently in the planning stages. So just taking a while to actually get the planning going for efficiency upgrades can be a challenge also. So thank you for sharing that, your insight as well. And we'll now move into that important question of how do you get started? How do you identify what fits for your facility? And how do you really understand the path forward for energy efficiency at your library? So I'm going to turn it over to Brian Tompkins to talk a little bit more about this and how to get going.
Thanks, Cassie. So the important question of if you don't know where to start, there are free energy efficiency facility assessments by our ComEd team. An energy engineer will visit your facility to identify energy efficiency opportunities. They'll meet with you, look at your existing configurations, and then based on that, we'll receive a report with recommended projects, including project cost savings, cost, and your incentive amount. To schedule an appointment for a facility assessment, contact us, or you can visit comed.com/facility-assessment. Also, you can explore the ComEd energy efficiency incentives in detail at comed.com/biz-incentives. There's essentially cash back for installing energy efficiency measures and technologies. There's direct install available for small facilities, and pre-approval is required for all the incentives, and that's a very important point to make. You must work with us to submit a pre-approval application and to ensure that you receive your incentive. After you submit your pre-approval, ComEd will send you a reservation of funds letter guaranteeing your incentive amount upon completion of scope of work. And then after your pre-approval is submitted and the scope of work is performed, you submit your final application. And then on average, you're looking at about 12 days to receive your incentive payment. If you go through the standard and custom offering, you can receive, we can directly administer the incentive check to your vendor. For small facilities, we provide the incentive payment to the public sector entity. So there are 3 steps essentially involved with the facility assessment. 1, you schedule the facility assessment. 2, you can receive the recommendations. This letter provides an overview of the energy improvements. It's a great document that you can just bring to your board, so then you can include it in your capital budget planning process. And then after you receive those recommendations and decide to implement those measures, we can apply for the incentives. And Cassie, myself, and Jordan can help you submit the pre-approval documents. So we can provide the free facility assessment, help you with the paperwork and monitor your project, and give you free technical advice throughout the completion of your project. And on the next slide, let's say you know what you need. The ComEd Energy Efficiency team provides project support and technical assistance at no cost. We help you with the applications. We let you know of all the offerings in the program and navigate to what's best for you. And we also educate you about the other offerings. So when you're looking at planning more projects, you'll know what's out there in terms of what offerings are under the program. We provide estimates on the simple project payback per measure. So you can look at what your return on investment for some of these projects are. We'll tell you what your estimated project cost is, give you an estimate on your kilowatt hour savings. Again, aligning with your environmental objectives. And our team here is to help you identify, develop, and implement these energy and cost-saving opportunities. Also, on the next slide, there's instant discount offering. You can see savings of 30 to 70% instantly on LED lighting and exit signage. Instant discounts is offering that's reduced price on qualifying products at time of sale. There's no paperwork required. Essentially, you go to the list of participating distributors at comed.com/instant discounts. If you're doing any kind of energy efficient relamping, any kind of like linear lighting, a screw-in or pin-based lighting, or exit signs, you're eligible to go through the instant discounts offering. And again, if you want an overview of the incentives opportunities, you can visit comed.com/bizincentives. And bonuses. ComEd offer under this program, there are bonuses available. So if you're someone who's on the call in the webinar now, who has a project that you're trying to wrap up before the end of the year, there's an early bird bonus. You can receive 15% bonus for projects with final applications in by November 16th of this year. There's a comprehensive energy savings bonus, which is a 20% bonus for completing 3 eligible energy efficiency projects. And those incentives are reserved for up to 2 years. There's the Made in Illinois bonus. There's a 10% bonus on eligible products at least 50% manufactured or assembled in Illinois through the end of the year. And there's also an instant lighting discount bonus for $3 off certified LED omnidirectional lamps through the end of the year. There's also a $3 bonus on PAR lights through the end of the year as well. And I would like just to wrap it up here on what makes a successful project here and how can you champion this? Who's the champion at the hub of your project? We're here to help. Again, we offer concierge style energy efficiency consulting. Our outreach service providers provide guidance and help craft a business case for your money-saving energy efficiency project. We'll coach you through the process of gaining support and buy-in from your key stakeholders. And we can also walk you through the facility assessment report and help you develop a project plan. It's like having an energy efficiency analyst as part of your internal team. So we're here to help. Happy to in any way. So I guess now we can go ahead and just look at some of the Q&A that we received here. And if you haven't seen in the Q&A box, there have been some questions at the beginning. One good question was, where can I get access to this webinar? You can visit our ComEd website under the public sector page. We have listings of our on-demand webinars. It's available there. Also, now we have some open questions. So, Kathy, currently in the planning stages of a library-wide renovation, which would include lighting improvement, what offering would be best for them to go through under the program?
If they're still in the planning stages, the best offering is the new construction offering. It also is a joint program between ComEd and the gas utilities. So if you're doing anything along the lines of HVAC, that's a great place to get incentives for both your cooling units and your heating units. If you're including lighting improvements, you would also have to address either HVAC or building envelope in your project. And building envelope means your insulation, your walls, your windows, etc. So I would definitely urge this person to get engaged if they haven't already with the new construction offering. And again, that can be major renovations as well. It doesn't have to be something from the ground up. It can be, but just as long as it is 5,000 square feet or higher. If it isn't, if it's just a small renovation, that's fine too. The standard and custom program can help find incentives for this project as well. And if you and there's incentives available there, and they provide great support, application support. We can also provide that support as well for the standard and custom offering. So it's just making sure that you get engaged either early in design or before you start your project and purchase equipment. Make sure, number one, it qualifies, reserve your funds, get that pre-application or pre-approval application in.
Thanks, Cassie. What about emergency interior lights that remain on after library hours? How can someone control costs with the use of emergency lights?
Sure, there's a lot of different ways. I think making sure that those lights are LEDs since they're on 24/7, that's going to have some big energy savings. Also looking and seeing if there's ways to reduce the number of bulbs and use light reflectors in your fixtures. That's another opportunity to reduce a little bit of energy, but making sure it's LEDs is first and foremost. And like we had mentioned, you can either, if you're doing a bulb replacement, go through the instant discounts offering, or if you want to just replace your fixture completely, there's a great opportunity to just go through the standard and custom offering to get incentives for those emergency lights.
Yeah, looking at occupancy sensors might be also another great way to address the emergency lighting. Sometimes that emergency lighting doesn't actually need to remain on 24/7. It just needs to be able to be, immediately lit as soon as somebody needs it. And that's one of the great benefits of LEDs is that it's been on, and coupled with an occupancy sensor can essentially give you the same coverage as an incandescent or CFL that's on 24/7.
Great. Can you explain the difference between a facility assessment and a small facilities offering?
Sure. So both are free services that the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program offers. They differ slightly based on the size of your facility. So for larger facilities, it's done through a ComEd engineer or one of our contract engineers. They come to your facility. They spend about 2 hours on site. They go over your current energy usage, do a walkthrough, and then several weeks later give you a report in person that our outreach staff will attend as well on what they found, what the recommendations are, and then outreach can sort of help you with next steps. With a small facility assessment, we do that through trade allies. So these are actually through lighting and HVAC contractors. So they come and do a free assessment of your facility, looking for a lot of the same opportunities that the ComEd engineers would. And then at the end, they do a similar write-up for you and make recommendations on what measures would make the most sense for your facility. And those who qualify for the small facility program also have access to increased incentives. So the small facility program can pay for up to 75% of the cost of the project. Most of the customers who've been participating in this program this year have achieved incentive saving or have received incentives that have averaged about 50 to 75% of the cost of the project. So there's a little bit of increased incentives and a little bit more direct connection with someone who could ultimately do the work for you. So if you're just interested in the assessment, you can do that too. You don't actually have any obligation to go with the contractor who does the assessment.
Another question we had was, can we use incentive money to pay for the upfront investment? I saw in the polls that upfront costs was one of the barriers to participation. So can incentive money be used to pay for the upfront investment?
Yeah, so I think the best way to do that is that your incentive payment can be directed towards your trade ally or contractor. So once you submit your final application for the project, you can make sure that those funds go directly towards the work that provider or contractor has done for your facility. So yes, it can be used towards your implementation of your project.
That's great. That's great to know.
Awesome. I also wanted to add something really quickly about the facility assessment and small facilities offering. If you're not sure what you qualify for, again, reach out to us, talk to us about the opportunity, and we'd be happy to help you figure out which offering that you fit best in. So again, you don't have to know which one you fall into, but we'd be happy to help you identify that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cassie,
and
I think that's a great point. I think as we've demonstrated by this webinar, the ComEd Energy Efficiency portfolio has a variety of programs to take advantage of, but you don't have to be experts in any of them. That's what we're here for. What you just have to have is the interest in participating and a little bit of budget to get yourself started. And we can sort of help figure out where you should go. You don't even need that much budget. I mean, a lot of the programs that Brian and Cassie talked about, operational and behavioral changes that you can make that can free up capital, down the line. But there's a lot of ways to get started, immediately on your path to saving money and saving energy.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of libraries too. If you work with your trade ally or your contractor, sometimes they'll offer payment plans for projects too. So always, check and see if your contractor or service provider offers that as well. Makes it easier to implement those projects.
And beyond that too, that's a great point, Cassie, in the payment plans. We offer vendor interfacing, so we can work directly with your contractors and your energy efficiency service providers on your behalf. If you have a preferred vendor and a budget, we can coordinate with the contractor to stage the project for implementation. You don't necessarily have to be an engineer to go through this program. We provide concierge-style energy efficiency consulting, meaning in terms of hospitality, say you're in an area you're not familiar with and you go to the front desk and there's a concierge, you say, oh, maybe we want to check out a restaurant in the area, and they can guide you to it. Now imagine you go to the restaurant, but not only once you get your bill, there's a discount on your bill, or there's some kind of incentive. So we're there to give you guidance, but also help you with the costs of your projects. And there's been expanded offerings. We've expanded incentives to $35 million annually under the program, from the transition to DCO to the ComEd program. And we provide full application assistance. We'll fill out the application for you, and we'll follow up the project to completion to ensure you receive the maximum benefits and incentives.
Great. We have a question here. If I get an assessment, am I obligated to move forward with the recommendations after the report or the project or the assessment has been completed?
Under the program, you're under no obligation. This is a free service. This report does help you, though, plan for your project. So if you need something tangible to bring to your board, and it's a high-level summary, it says perhaps you have old metal halide lighting and upgrading to LED, you see a payback within 2 years, you can begin to budget for those things. And then you can start seeing those savings, once you implement this project. There's free technical services, free guidance throughout the entire program available to you. And the facility assessments are a great way for someone to participate if they just don't know where to start. And again, you can schedule an appointment through Jordan, Cassie, or I. We're happy to help. And you can also schedule a facility assessment at comed.com/facility assessment.
Great. And I guess we have another question. Do I have to go through, or do I have to work with a ComEd trade ally on projects to qualify for incentives, or can I work with somebody that I've been working with for a period of time, or are already, can I do it in-house, do the projects in-house?
Great question. Yeah, you can do it in-house, certainly. That's certainly an option. But if you want to work with a contractor, you can go to comed.com/find a contractor for the list of qualified ComEd trade allies. Now, if you prefer contractor or vendor that's not on the list, we can work with your contractor to get them on the list. So again, that website's comed.com/find a contractor, and if they're not on the list, we're happy to get them on the list.
Right. The one exception to that is the small business, the small facilities program, which works with a closed set of contracts. So if you want to take advantage of the incentives, increased incentives through the small business program, you do have to use one of the certified contractors as part of that program.
Mhm. Great. I'm just taking a look. I don't think let's see. I guess the last question that I'm seeing is, how soon can I expect to receive my incentive payment?
So on average right now, we're seeing it take about 12 days, but typically, the guidelines were 4 to 6 weeks, but it's been turned around really quick. We've seen the average be about 12 days to receive that check.
Great, great. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any more questions from our audience. So we will actually close today's session. So thank you once again. Thank you to all of our speakers today. Thank you, Jordan and Brian. And thank you all for joining us today. Again, this webinar will be on demand. So you'll get a link to the live on demand listening session. And please feel free to pass that along to your colleagues or other libraries in your district to help them learn about energy efficiency opportunities. I thank you all for taking the time to join us today, and I wish you the best of luck in energy efficiency projects at your facility. And please let us know how and if we can help you. If it has a question, if it relates to energy and you have questions about does it qualify for incentives, let us know. We're here to help. Thank you again, and have a wonderful afternoon.